Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and in today's video, I'm very excited to welcome Divij Hemrajani back into our studio here in Dallas. And today we're going to be talking about something that we haven't spent much time discussing on this channel, but is something that has been a little bit of a passion project for me, and that is bespoke denim. Hey Divij, thank you so much for joining us back here at Kirby Allison. I appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure to have you passing through Dallas. And I think that we were commenting earlier that this is actually your first time in our new studio, so welcome.
Yes, pleasure to be back. Always great to be in Dallas.
Yeah. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier is that denim isn't something that we've really spent much time discussing on this channel. The majority of the work that we do together, and of course we discuss here at Kirby Allison, is formal menswear. Jackets, trousers, all the things that of course you and I love and that you do beautifully. Actually, I think everything except the shirt that I'm wearing today is actually from you, Divij Bespoke. So thank you. I think everything's looking smashing. But the reality is that in the entirety of one's wardrobe, most of us aren't wearing trousers and jackets 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so I think as one develops, being able to integrate casual and really tailored or thoughtfully designed casual items is really kind of where that next level comes.
That's correct, yeah. And denim is one of those things that can be more personalized and adapt, change with you, and really create an individual characteristic about your clothing.
So you mentioned earlier, and I thought it was a very salient point, which is that denim is actually probably the most popular or widely worn single piece of clothing in America. I mean, there's probably more denim sold than everything else combined.
Yeah, in the last 25, 30 years, it's become the most popular item, I think, that everybody is comfortable wearing, and everybody in their wardrobe, there's some denim pair of jeans there, correct?
Yeah, well, and myself included, I have quite a bit of denim that I actually had made bespoke in New York by a company called 3x1 that unfortunately no longer does bespoke denim. One of the frustrations that I found that ultimately led me down that pathway, and that kind of opened the door for me to experience just the majesty of denim, is the fact that it's impossible to find really good denim out there. I mean, if you go into a department store, denim's mostly available only in one color, indigo, right? It's only available in one or two models. It's all got rivets and contrast stitching. Just the available choice out there is not very wide, right? And so whenever I discovered the idea, or that you could even have denim made for you bespoke, it just opened a new world for me, and really totally transformed my understanding and appreciation of denim. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is that denim is really a true rabbit hole, right? That once you go into the world of denim and custom denim, you realize that there is just a rich variety of denim fabric available to you that you'll never find off the rack or ready to wear as there is with suiting.
Yeah, mass production has changed also the quality of the fabric that's come out, and bespoke denim allows us to go back to the original way that denim was made and get those fabrics and then create and cut for our own personalized customer.
Yeah. One of the other things that I found myself particularly disappointed or just limited by is the fact that the majority of denim out there is in fact designed or styled to be quite casual. And so if you're someone like me that wanted to wear denim formally, if you wear with a nice pair of bespoke shoes, maybe with a jacket, a button-up shirt, wearing it to the office, is that just the way that denim was styled kind of brought that down. You couldn't get away with it. And so I kind of developed this idea of bespoke or dress denim, where you would have a beautiful pair of denim jeans made with no rivets, without contrast stitching, so tone-on-tone stitching, slightly slimmer cut, and then all of a sudden you've got a pair of denim, right, that's made to be dress denim that you could wear to the office or out at night, that really looked formal, looked smart, and that you could wear, with a jacket, a button-up shirt, a pair of beautiful shoes, and it really looked smart. And that was something that I couldn't find off the rack that you had to have made.
The mass production jeans have gone to a sense of looking like you've walked out of the mines for 10 years. You've been working there.
Yeah, the original Levi Strauss model, right?
Right, but a pair of denim should be start plain,
Yeah.
and then you should build and wear, wash to create your own type of stress marks
Yeah.
and wear. Most of these mass production jeans have started blasting and making all the detailing as if you were wearing those jeans for 10 years, but sometimes the characteristic of the jean can really create its own story when you wear it and break it in yourself. And that's where the beauty really evolves from.
Yeah. Well, it's like the patina on a beautiful pair of shoes.
Exactly.
There's a particular beauty whenever that patina develops naturally and is authentic versus something that is done, say, at the factory.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the feel of denim is made to, when you wear it, wash it, it softens over time. And that part you kind of get used to and enjoy that process.
Yeah, absolutely. I must say that I was at the end of my road on my denim, which kind of catalyzed the whole idea for this video, is because all that denim I had made, back, gosh, it had to be 6, 7, 8 years ago, has just kind of reached the end of its life. Mm-hmm. Denim is still a part of my wardrobe, albeit in a much more minor way than it was 8 years ago, but it's still something that I need. One of the things that I love about you is that you're a bespoke tailor, of course, and you do absolutely beautiful suiting. I mean, everything that you've made for me has just been spot on and beautiful. But you guys really have a wide breadth of range, if you will. And so one of the things that we've been talking about in some of our more recent videos are some of those more casual kind of pieces. So you've done the shirt jackets, you did the slack jacket for me, you did my denim kind of odd trousers that I wear on the weekend. And you've got great variety so that, if you're someone in California that never dresses in a suit and tie, doesn't mean that you can't still have clothing made for you that fits, that is made how you want it to be made, that gives you access to really exciting and interesting fabrics.
Yes.
Right?
You can still look proper in a pair of jeans. You don't have to, it doesn't have to compromise the look. You can still look tailored and sophisticated, smart, original, and still develop your own personal style through denim.
Yeah, and you can have it made exactly how you want it, and as we have right here, you can access the most interesting denim fabrics.
Yes.
And that, again, was one of the things that just blew me away and really just changed my life in some way. I mean, that's overstating it, but, that just really kind of was transformative for me, is that once you're having something made, you gain access to a palette of denim.
Yes.
That isn't just indigo. It's this incredible diversity of Japanese denim, Italian denim, that to me opens up the door for someone not to just have 1 or 2 pairs of denim, but you could have, 1 or 2 dozen pairs of denim and have every pair be different. And that's because of the access you have to really interesting fabrics.
And indigo can be changed in multiple variations. Indigo is probably one of the most amazing dyes that is used because of the character and how it originated into denim, right? Why did they use indigo? Because of its, its non-characteristic to really, only bond to the outside of the yarn. So when you do wash it, it takes some of the fiber of the yarn and softens it. So that's why indigo is so used so much for denim for so many years.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about that, and then let's get into fabric, because you brought a lot of different swatches with you. I mean, again, it speaks to the breadth of access that you have, Divij, just what we have right here. This is just denim, right? So talk to me a little bit about indigo, and then let's talk about the Japanese denims, the Italian denims, and just, kind of open up and unfold this world of just high quality, true denim.
Yes. The first thing I want to say is cotton is amazing.
Yeah.
The way its properties and durability. The indigo dye itself is amazing because other dyes, as they bleed, they can look faded. Where indigo, you can see from the swatch here, as it is bleached, even washed, it still has a beautiful makeup, even after it's faded. And that's what makes indigo so amazing. You don't get that, even part of the wash is part of the character, part of the look. It's okay if it bleeds and distresses. It creates that
dimensionality.
Dimensionality, correct.
Or indigo is what most people know when they think about denim. But again, that's the tip of the iceberg in terms of what's available.
Yes.
So, I mean, one of the things that I enjoyed is I had some cotton linen, you know, jeans made in a nice, beautiful blue. And then I had a green denim that was like an olive. And then I had a pair of black denim for, you know, formal going out. But it wasn't black, it was like a super midnight indigo. So that as I wore it and washed it, it developed this dimensionality to it. So let's kind of talk a little bit about that. I mean, you've got a lot of denims here. You know, kind of just talk me through kind of how you approach denim. I mean, of course, the Japanese are famous. How did the Japanese get into the denim game? I mean, denim was invented here in America.
Right, so brief history, you know, 1873, late 1800s, Levi created the first denim with rivets.
Yeah.
Went into mass production because of the gold rush. So they used for the miners. Everybody wanted this tough,
it was durable.
hardy, durable.
Yeah.
And as they washed it, it would soften and became more comfortable. So they loved the denim jeans. Then later on in the 50s, you know, they added different style aspects. You know, first it was all button fly, then the zipper fly came. And then later on in the 1900s, it went into more of a mass production, as you know, in the last 30 years. When you go to mass production, you try to make things at a more economical cost. So you sacrifice on the make, the weave, the dye, and the durability. And now Japanese denim have kind of taken that old world proper way of making it. They've really honed in on what it is to what denim was all about back in the day.
Yeah.
And they've taken the, you know, old ancient, you know, the historic vintage way of weaving, dyeing, in order to bring back the proper way that denim washes. They've taken, you know, these proper traditional methods of dyeing, the way it was done back in the early 1900s, you know, when first denim production started on, you know, traditional shuttle looms. That's where you would get self-edge, which would hold in the edging from fraying. So it's a very strong edge, as you can see on this piece here. So this is the way denim was originally produced, and the Japanese have really taken that and brought it back to life.
You have that heritage.
In small batches. So that's why they've brought back a piece of history, you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to show us some of the Japanese denims, like this is one we pulled earlier.
This is more unique because it's a solid black. So both the warp and weft is black. You can see normally denim in the back, you usually have a white. So jeans are always made, you know, all fabric warp and weft. Warp running is the length and weft across. So always white thread is the warp and usually 3 yarns for the weft across. So in this particular cloth, it's warp and weft is both black. So it creates that deep color black. Or normally a black denim you see this is more popular. You see where the warp is white and the weft is
black. And this to me, again, is a great candidate for a pair of dress denim, right? It's got a true black saturation to it, right? It's got a great kind of strong, rough hand, which is kind of what you expect from that Japanese denim, which really, you know, they say don't even wash it. I mean, there's people that literally don't wash their denim. And if you can get away with that for as long as you can, I think you should try to, because again, it maintains that structure for as long as possible. But this is absolutely beautiful. What else? I mean, what's the Japanese denim? I mean, you can still, the Italians make denim.
Italian, also, a lot of, even a cone, you know, a lot of American, some denim is also still really good. Unfortunately, a lot of the mass production mills have kind of downgraded their quality in order to produce the denim at a higher, quicker, faster, more cost-efficient rate. There are some Italian, they do smaller batches. It's all in the dyeing process that really keeps the color and bleeds a certain way. And the Japanese have taken that to an extreme in order to get like some very interesting way of creating new colors in the indigo.
So this one right here, the Italian Candiani, is beautiful. This Japanese Nihon, I mean, that's gorgeous.
Albiate has also started making with the from Japanese too.
Really?
to produce.
At different weights, right? So this is a little bit
Different
of
weights, a little lighter.
weight. Yeah.
Still no stretch. Stretch is sometimes can be helpful for athleisure, bodybuilders, or just for more comfort. Just no stretch is great for drape, keeps its shape, which is why I like non-stretch a lot better.
Yeah.
And doesn't bag out over time.
Yeah.
So these are non-indigo, and this is an indigo. This is this is all very natural.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look at this. I mean,
no
this
dye
would be
to it.
beautiful.
Beautiful
for a pair of
pair.
dress denim. If I was to have this made, I don't think I would have it made with contrast stitching.
And this will still soften.
Yeah.
This
This is Japanese red selvage, right? So that's another, again, this olive green.
Just different dyes used, but same heavy, tough makeup in the fabric. Still, still mid-weight, 12 to 13 and a half.
Yeah.
Anything between 11 to 15, I'd say about mid-weight.
So this is Candiani, this is Italian. I mean, this one is beautiful.
Yeah, you can see this.
I'd probably take that over this.
This is about
Is this the same?
9 ounce here.
See, but the 9 ounce, I feel like you lose.
9 ounce crushes. Italian make a lot of lightweight.
Wrinkles, yeah.
Because they have the climate too. So if this will wear cooler, which
Yeah.
is nice sometimes.
Yeah. I would probably go to something slightly
This
more
has
heavier.
a proper hang-in.
I mean, these four right here would be kind of my picks of the lot. I mean, I see red.
Red, this is just more fun. This is one very
Probably
interesting.
wouldn't do this, but it's, again, another great illustration of Japanese denim and just how
Yeah, this is made in the U.S.
this is a
This
your
is a striped
proper
denim.
railroad. You know what I need? A pair of overalls made in this.
Vintage pair.
This is a gorgeous blue. I mean, look at that. It's maybe a little bit too sky blue for me.
Yeah,
but
so all of these deep, these are raw colors. So they can
what
be.
does that mean?
Raw means they're non-washed, and just how it's made.
Okay.
So some, in order to keep the lock in the shrinkage, we pre-rinse if you want to keep the color, and you can actually wash once or twice to kind
Yeah.
of keep the denim to wear properly. These will actually shrink if we were to make it raw. So some denim connoisseurs will always make their denim in raw. And not wash the jeans in order to break them in naturally.
And raw denim, again, is referring back to the fact that it just has not been washed.
Correct, yeah. Raw is different than selvage just means the edging.
Yeah.
And raw is non-washed. This is like a beige. Also
Oh, look
beautiful.
at that. And this is got a soft hand. A little bit of stretch also, 2%. What about that blue pair right there?
Oh, this is nice too. This is also bleached. Washed and bleached.
Yeah, so
It takes some of the color out.
again,
on
Japanese.
purpose.
This is 100% cotton. I mean, that's a beautiful color. I, again, kind of prefer that to this one right there.
And then this is the most classic blue denim. Deep, but really, you want the character to start showing as you wash it. Too,
Yeah.
And wearing.
So why do you think denim has become one of the most popular clothing items?
Well, I think just how the longevity of the use. It's easy to wear, and it becomes more comfortable. It breaks in. It's as we become a little bit more informal nowadays. Also, people still want to dress nice, but a little bit more informal is a pair of jeans, right?
Yeah.
You can have jeans can have an array of characteristics that can be added. Stitching, rivets.
Yeah.
We do some embroidery on the back panel of the jeans. So you can get more, you can have more fun with the pair of denims.
So, again, this one I'd say is, again, this khaki is beautiful. 12.5 ounces, 100% cotton.
Some people love white.
Yeah.
Beautiful pair of white.
I don't know if I'd do white. I prefer the natural, right?
Yeah, this is more useful.
Yeah. So we'll set that one aside. This is an interesting, this is American, Mount Vernon. 100% cotton, right? I think that, we've got to do something in a traditional denim color, like an indigo. So I've got these set right there.
Yeah, this is different. This I love if you want. This is a blend, 60-40.
Cotton linen.
Linen.
Yeah. This is out of Turkey.
It's still weighted. but very breathable.
10.5 ounces.
And then this is if you like tough, almost vintage feel.
Wow.
It's
Feel that.
heavy. This heavy
14
denim I
ounces.
like to wash once, just to soften it slightly.
So this is 58% cotton, 42% hemp.
Yeah, so this is a little more innovative as well. Hemp has very unique properties. Doesn't crush as much as linen. Wears very cool too.
Once you start having your jeans made, you have access to this incredible range of denim that
Also-
you'll never find in a store.
Also,
So this is American, right? 100% cotton, right? So this, I'd say, I prefer this darker color to that.
yeah, you always prefer a little dressier.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, again, it would be fun to have something made out of an American denim.
Yes.
I'd love to have some Japanese denims.
Especially if you wear denim with a blazer.
Yeah.
The darker colors are nice. Usually your jacket tends to be lighter than the trouser.
So this is another, that's a very nuanced difference right there.
This is also a beautiful color. So the
Yes.
Japanese have really learned to kind of play with the dyes to get
So
different
this
variations.
is vintage dead stock denim. Again, this is the problem. Once you start,
It
it's
becomes a
really
rabbit
open
hole.
to Pandora's box here.
Right.
So what about the Italian stuff? You've got Loro Piana, right? You've got some other books that you pulled out.
Yeah, besides the Japanese denim, Italian also make beautiful cloth. A lot of it will be pre-washed, pre-shrunk, so good for tailoring, very, very soft.
So this is denim, right? But it has a almost brushed look to make it, again, have a slightly softer hand, right?
Right, so this is heavily washed to kind of locks in the color a little bit and locks in the shrinkage.
And it looks brushed though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not brushed, just
Heavily washed.
heavily washed. Yes, they'll wash sometimes with like a volcanic rock
Yeah.
to soften and beat up the denim to kind of break it in. This as a tailored piece is already very comfortable. Some people don't want to worry about washing, shrinkage. So this you can keep using and still bleed slowly over time.
So this Loro Piana is 100% California cotton, right? So that's interesting. Again, this is a real soft hand. So, if you're looking for someone who's looking for kind of a softer, more casual pair of denim, versus dress denim, something slightly more casual. Again, these are some swatches right here that would work beautifully. These two right here.
The deeper colors will still make very dressed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, this has got such a soft hand compared to the raw denim.
Right.
This is not raw, it's been washed.
It's been washed. Here is also a little bit different. Also very dressy. It's mixed with silk, so it adds to the luster. It looks like a dressier pair, a little richer finish, and not as matte and flat like normal.
Beautiful. And I love silk. Silk is strong. It's got great
It's about 40%
thermal
silk, I
properties.
think.
Yeah, that's
From Delfino.
that would be fun to have made up. I wonder how that would feel. Yeah, well, maybe we set that aside.
Same. This is from Holland and Sherry.
Yeah.
The very few customers tend to make this like lightweight denim because it crushes, wrinkles. You feel like washing it, and this is very light for denim.
Yeah, this is, what is it?
Yeah, this is lightweight.
Well, it says 16. This says 16
Oh,
ounces,
this one.
but this
here,
one
This
is
is light.
6.5 ounces.
Yeah. So
It's
this
like
is
nothing.
cool, comfortable, already washed. I love these heavy cottons.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a casual cut on if you cut like a denim, cut like jeans, but the cloth is not so ordinary like you would see a blue pair of jeans.
Yeah, these I think would make a great pair of odd trousers. I don't think I'd have it I wouldn't have this done as like a proper denim cut with all the styling, but I think from an odd trouser perspective, they would style it beautifully. Look at this beautiful olive.
Yeah. Wears heavy though, like a pair of denim.
Yeah,
which is
well,
nice.
for the winter.
For the winter.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, a total rabbit hole of Japanese denim, which is kind of part of what I love. And again, having, once you're having something made by someone like you, Divij, again, it opens up this entire second world of incredible denims where all of a sudden you have trouble deciding what not to have made. Well, let's talk about styling. So you have a model out behind you that we hung, and let's talk a little bit about what the options are, because again, you know, there are so many options whenever it comes to how you have denim made. And again, you're doing everything bespoke, so a lot of this is really, you know, on the table for consideration, right?
Right. So, you know, a lot of times you see stitching on the outside, contrasting. Tonal stitching, as you mentioned, will be a dressier finish, same color. The rivets, of course, is a very vintage or traditional way of making jeans because of the reinforcement.
But I'm not a big fan of rivets. I mean, the reason rivets exist is to, again, add durability to the garment.
Correct.
Right? Because originally this was a
Stress
workwear. I mean, this was, you know, you'd literally wear your denim trousers into the mines.
Yes.
But my problem with denim is that, especially if it's on the back, which this one doesn't have, is as you're getting in and out of your car, the rivets will actually scrape your car seats.
If you lean on something, yes.
Yeah. And then, you know, I've actually had the rivets nick furniture as I'm walking around the house bumping into things.
It is an abrasive piece of
I
hardware.
think that, you know, again, if you like it and you're going to wear it slightly more casually, then the rivets are a great point of, a great kind of styling point. But for what I would foresee myself wearing the denim slightly dressier, I would not have it made with rivets, and I would do tone-on-tone stitching to really showcase the denim and to not take away.
Yes, it's a beautiful look, especially if wearing with the sports jacket.
Yeah.
Clean and same color stitching. This here is a single top stitch. Sometimes on denim you'll see the 2 rows of stitch, which is additional reinforcement. And this is a little bit cleaner cut. Still like an office appropriate with the contrast orange, and has, you know, subtle brass rivets.
Yeah. Now, I saw that you had some different rivets available, right? So pull out, because that's a whole nother thing, again, is that, you know, it's not just what's available in store. I mean, there's an entire, wow, this was even more than I expected. So let's just kind of lay this out. So again,
Yeah, bright copper, brass, silver, black. This is like a pewter brass. And you can even make with the customized logo. Most time we use like a flat.
yeah.
So rivets are a great way to make the contrast or the tonal look on the denim. And then along with the stitching, right?
And so these
This
are all
we
the
all
different
give
colors.
advice for as well and help guide you through the process.
Yeah.
But you know, you can do brighter colors. The darker colors work for darker pairs, I think, as well too.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Wow. Again, it's kind of a world of options.
Yeah, and leather patch. A lot of people they'll opt to put a leather patch, and you can do that with your, as opposed to like a monogram, you would put the patch here.
Well, one of the things that I did is select where you see the selvage edge, right? You could take it across the top of the pocket, or
That's correct.
that would probably be a little bit too much, but
That's correct. Most times we're doing the selvage on the fifth
front.
pocket
Yeah.
here in the small one, just to give a touch of look.
Yeah.
I have some customers that opt to do the selvage edge here to kind of show off that it's
Selvage
a
edge.
proper selvage, right?
Yeah.
Where most people you'll see they'll turn up the cuff and then they'll have the selvage on the inside here.
yeah, right there. Interesting.
So we purposely will make the jeans a little bit longer. So if the customer will wear it as a cuffed, then they can cuff or stack at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I had done on my denim is I had my initials embroidered right here on the pocket.
Yes.
Right.
It's nice.
So
Tonal
another-
or contrast.
No, I did contrasting because I kind of wanted it to stand out a little bit. And then another choice, again, as one is kind of styling this out, is determining what the fit is, right, in terms of the taper on the legs. Right, so for instance, I'm having Lee Miller make a pair of cowboy boots for me. Well, in order to fit your denim over the boots, they need to have a much more generous cut at the bottom.
Right.
Whereas if you're wearing your denim with dress shoes and you want to show off your shoes, I would probably have it a little bit more tapered so that, again, it has a similar opening, if not a little bit even smaller than a pair of standard dress trousers.
Correct. That's correct, Kirby. The original pair of jeans cut was the Levi 501. That was the first pair of denim ever made. Straight leg, slightly fuller in the thigh. And now, of course, a lot of people will make very, very slim jeans. And if too slim, we definitely will opt for a stretch cloth.
Yeah.
So just depending on the way you'd like to wear, boot cut, of course, slightly fuller is better to fall over.
The problem with the slim cut is that if it's too slim, it becomes uncomfortable.
That's correct.
Right? And so I like a little bit of room, especially through the quad, right? Because I've got large quads, and then, through the calf.
Yes.
Right, and you need, of course, space here at the knee so that if you bend down, you're not,
correct.
Really pulling through the fabric.
And raw denim can actually give a little bit. Otherwise, we'll wash to kind of lock in that shrinkage, and denim can be washed to shrink to your fit too. So you can actually control how much you want the denim to reduce in size. And sometimes we'll opt to make a fitting pair of denim for the customer, and we'll send them a sample pair mostly for raw use.
Okay.
So if they want a raw pair but they're not sure how the denim will react, or they'll wash it, or how it'll change after washing, we'll send a fitting pair so they can wash and use it, account for the shrinkage for the actual pair.
Yeah. How do you guys, do you guys have a shrinkage allowance that's specific to the denim? Do you test it first?
It needs to be tested. Yeah, we do test the shrinkage.
Yeah. Yes. Well, great. Well, yeah, this is, what are the other options, just out of curiosity?
This is another detail here you see always is this bar tacking. This is a reinforcement points. Also, you could, as opposed to the rivets, it also gives it reinforced areas, right?
Yeah. So if I wanted to have my jeans made without rivets, but maybe you could tack that, right? Tone on tone stitching, right? And then we could have you take measurements just to determine, the size and the quad through the calf, and then what the opening in the bottom would be.
Right. And then this is more of an interior that you see. This is like a chain stitch. And that can be done. This is a very reinforced area too on the hem as well.
Well, great. Well, this is exciting.
Yeah, some other aspects of denim you can use is you can make, even without belt loops, I've made with the side tabs. Some people will just opt without the belt.
Yeah.
Or a back cinch to kind of clean up the rear.
Yeah. Well, Dominic Casey, who's Bespoke shoemaker that we've filmed a lot on the channel, he's got a beautiful pair of vintage Levi's that are cut very high in the waist, are cut very generous in the waistband to be worn with braces, actually come up quite high in the back, and I think have the back little side tab also. It must be a cinch, right, which is kind of an original 19th century kind of styling.
Yeah, the higher waisted, is for comfort. People always go to this low rise in terms of for a fashion sense, but until you've worn a high rise trouser, in the miners in the early 1900s was always high waisted because of the comfort.
Absolutely. And then what about also, rise is another thing that we can kind of play around with, right, in terms of how high up the waist it's going. Generally,
we'll cut the pair of jeans slightly lower rise than a trouser. If the customer opts for a proper higher rise, it can add a very sophisticated look to wearing with a blazer, especially to hide some more of the shirt.
But at that point, they would need to be worn with braces, right?
Not necessarily, depending on the figure.
Yeah.
Some customers, to keep the pants up, they'll opt for the braces.
Yeah.
That's the better route to go. Yeah. Or that way you don't have to make the waist so firm. Other ways to make the waist firm so it stays up. And denim does have a little give where the waist kind of relaxes as you wear it.
Yeah.
So as you wash, the waist
denim
may
shrinks.
go back.
Yeah.
And then the moment you put it on, it kind of gives a little bit.
Yeah. Great. Well, let's kind of looking through these, let's kind of decide on a few things. We'll put this kind of on to the wish list right here. But I think, for starters, it would be fun, just nice to have something done out of an American kind of denim. So these are both what Cone USA Red Selvage.
Cone is like the original, producer of the.
So I'd probably go with these I have trouble differentiating, but I'd probably go with the 12-ounce cotton, right?
Yeah, this is a classic nice weight, 12 ounce, not too heavy. 12, 13 is, and still has some.
And I could almost stand to have it the same thing made out of a Japanese denim, but we'll hold on that. So this being a slightly lighter blue,
Much more casual.
You know, I definitely want to have that made. I mean, I think that this would be really interesting. What do you think of that?
I love the natural color.
Mm-hmm. And I had a pair, an olive pair that I loved. It had a little bit more of a white, you know, weft to it or whatever. But I mean, I don't know.
And this will bleed slightly, the olive.
Mm-hmm. But these three right here, right? We've got black, more formal, evening time, casual, kind of weekend, something formal, you know, spring, summer, something again, nice, casual, spring, summer, and then we've got this right here. But again, I mean, this lineup, I think, is such a great illustration of just the diversity of fabric, of denim you have access to whenever you're having denim made. I mean, you wouldn't absent these two, you know, maybe this one, but, you know, if you were to walk into a department store, you'd be lucky to find these two. And there's no way you'd find anything right here in that color range.
Yes, in this quality, correct?
And then that's not even considering the quality.
Right. So these are all raw, what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And as you wash and bleed these, that's when the character truly comes.
And then look at the options right here. I mean, this is just on your Indigo stuff. I mean, there's a ton of other options.
Yeah,
right?
so you can take this raw
Mm-hmm.
and choose how deep to bleed it. Normally, we're taking.
Is this a treatment at the factory?
This is enzyme treated, and then this is bleached.
Okay, but this is, you could enzyme or bleach any of these whenever you're actually making the...
To fade, to take out some of the color. Most times we're starting raw and then just rinsing once to kind of keep that original color and allowing the consumer to kind of break in the paint on its own.
Yeah, interesting.
Some people want this lighter look, right? Then we would bleach to here.
Yeah.
So you can select the darker original denim weight and bleed out the color before it's produced.
Yeah. And then this is another kind of beautiful khaki. Gosh, look at that beautiful yellow selvage. And then this is what, all the styling?
This is a vintage book, a Japanese, you know, this is one of those magazines where...
Gotta give it to the Japanese.
Picture's worth 1,000 words here. But you can see the different, these are like arcuates, right? They have different style, which you normally see on like a Levi pair. This is how jeans would come after many years in the mines. This is, sometimes you see the stress marks after many, many years.
And again, like one of the ways that they've done this is traveling around the United States and buying vintage pairs of denim from
these are old pairs.
Yeah.
Sometimes customers will opt for these whiskers or honeycomb on the back of the knee during the manufacturing process, which we can also produce to kind of create that already worn in. Yeah. So a couple ways to be done. One is during the wash, and then two, you can see sometimes in the center you get this white blasting. So they'll actually blast like sand to kind of take out. And then now manufacturers use like a laser also for mass production to kind of burn off the top layer of the indigo.
Fascinating. And this has the double stitching, but the model that you showed didn't.
This is a more casual. The double stitch always more casual. Yeah. Single stitch on the sample here you saw is good for contrast, but still makes up a little bit dressier. So it still has some interest. These all most vintage pairs will always have that double stitch for reinforcement, double top stitch. They've really taken what American heritage was and brought it back to life. You know, they've fallen in love with that era in time.
Great. Well, that's exciting. Well, I think we've got something lined up here to do, and this is interesting. Well, Divij, I'm always in awe of just kind of the breadth of work that you do. And again, I mean, as a bespoke tailor, it's easy to, in some ways, pigeonhole you into just doing formal menswear, jackets, trousers, suits. But one of the things I've appreciated, and one of the things that's allowed, kind of our relationship to grow so much, is just the diversity that you're able to really bring to clothing in these other more casual items. So I'm excited for this kind of next facet, if you will, of kind of our work together. Definitely looking forward to having a few of these trousers made, and we'll bring you back on the channel, once they're done, to talk about them.
Yes, been a great evolution, and looking forward to it here.
So Divij, as someone that's interested in getting in touch with you about the denim or about your suits or shirts or anything else you do? I know that you travel quite extensively.
Yes.
What's the best way for someone to get in touch with you?
Through our website, divij.com, divij.com.
Okay, so you're also on Instagram at Divij Bespoke.
Yes.
Right, and then you travel quite extensively. I mean, how many cities in America do you hit?
I personally will do around 20 different
20.
cities.
Yeah, so I won't even ask you to name them all, right? They're all on the website, but the point of the matter being is that, you've got full coverage here across the United States.
Yes.
And you do what? How many tours a year?
I'll do 6 tours a year.
It's crazy. Unbelievable. Yeah, well, great. Well, Divij, hey, thank you so much.
Okay, all right, thank you.
It's always a pleasure having you on, and I look forward to having some exciting denim made.
Yes,
Yeah.
great.
So there we have it, Divij Hemrajani, divij.com, Divij Bespoke, doing absolutely incredible work. And again, forgive my excitement here, but denim, true Japanese raw denim and Italian denim is something that is very easy to get excited about, just because once you open that Pandora's box, it doesn't even compare to anything that is available ready to wear. And this is where custom clothing really gets fun. This is what allows you to really inflect your personal sense of style into your wardrobe by having truly unique things made. And again, once you're at this level, it really gets fun. So, of course, I'm Kirby Allison. I love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes while exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. If you've enjoyed this content, please take a moment to visit kirbyallison.com. Of course, it is the best way to support this channel and the content we bring to you. There you'll find the largest collection of luxury garment care and luxury shoe care accessories in the world, as well as other great clothing accessories for the well-dressed, like this sovereign grade jacquard necktie I'm wearing, pocket squares, socks, belts, braces, and so much more. Take a look, kirbyallison.com. And we've also added a few new ways to support our work here on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel membership and we have a Patreon page. These allow you to support the content that we're filming, and 100% of the proceeds through our YouTube channel memberships and our Patreon will go to support our ability to travel, to go visit these independent artisans and really explore what it is they do. So if that's something you'd like to see more of on this channel, please take a moment and consider supporting us through our YouTube channel membership or Patreon. I'm Kirby Allison, and I love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes while exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. Thanks for watching.